There it is. We on. Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Octazamak. Got my brother Rataziah, portion of Jacob. Just want to introduce ourselves and you know, explain what the mission we on with this channel, with this movement, with this music. We got a lot of things on the table. But Rataziah, brother Rataziah, I just
Yes,
wanted to
sir.
ask you a question. Since you are the one that came up with the name portion of Jacob, um, what does it mean to you? Like what is the significance behind the portion of Jacob for those that don't understand the meaning? And if you got any precepts, I'll read them for you.
Well, there's a particular scripture in the book of Jeremiah. Speaking of the book of Jeremiah, it speaks of Babylon, and
Yep.
it goes into how, uh, but the portion of Jacob is not like theirs. He's the Most High's inheritance.
Mm.
So I thought it was very fitting for a group calling card or a banner or group name, if you want to call it,
Hmm.
that would explain exactly what we're going after and what we're all about. We learn that we're the Most High uh, inheritance. We're the portion of Jacob, meaning that what Jacob was promised to get. That's what we're in line to get as his seed. So I thought it was a very appropriate name. I mean, you know, we know it's not in the name. It's just about keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. But I guess in today's modern times, you got different groups, and they want to be able to say, "Hey, who do you study with? Where do you go?" And we just chose something that was biblically based to be our calling sign.
Book, chapter, and script and verse, so I can read that for those that get a hold of this.
Let's go to Jeremiah chapter
I'm
50, I
already
believe
here,
it's
bro.
51.
51. All right, what verse you talking about?
Let me get there.
I got you. Verse 19. The portion of Jacob. This is Jeremiah 51, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Right. So that was the scripture where the calling sign or the name portion of Jacob is based on, because that scripture is very relevant, because most Israelite groups recognize that we are in captivity in Babylon. And being that we are in Babylon, a lot of Israelite groups love to break out Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Isaiah 13, Revelation 18, because those scriptures give us hope that we are going to get out of this situation.
For sure. That's what's up. Well, speaking on groups, I know we've had discussions off air about the climate of Israel as a whole. The different camps and the different viewpoints. With this movement that we're putting together, with this channel, with this website, what would, in your opinion, be the main focus or the main message we want to get out to various groups out there that follow the statutes, laws, and commandments, that keep the Sabbath and the dietary law, but might have some discrepancies in various doctrines? What would be something that you would want to get off to those people, like a Malak or a GOCC or ISUPK? Like, what is something that you will want to say to those brothers about the discrepancies within Israel?
I'll tell you this. Let's go to Proverbs real quick, and let me get the chapter to show you. See, I don't have the skinny, or I don't have any inside information on who's what, who's who, who's working for this, who's working for that. I got nothing but love for all the groups. I can't sit here and say that I have not spent hours and hours learning from all the different teachers out there. They've all been instrumental in my growth and development, and what I've been able to share with those I study with, and being the one scripture that really helps me to show love for everybody and not really get caught up in I guess you would say group politics, is because at the fundamental core, I think we were talking about it earlier. Go to Proverbs chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 4 and read verse 2.
It says Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 2. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law.
Right. I don't if you're out there and you figured out that you're the Israelites, you're trying to gather the people, teach them their true heritage, and you're telling them to keep the law, you understand? I got love for you. You
Give me
spitting good doctrine.
give me a roll call of some of the groups that you would spend your time listening to. Just off the top of the head, just some PoJ certified, portion of Jacob certified teachers that you would recommend to a new Israelite or somebody coming into this understanding, just off the top of the head.
I mean, I of course came up, in no particular order, and anybody I leave out, I apologize. But I I've heard, I've learned from Brother Ariyah from the Institute of Israel 144. I've learned from uh, Mashaba Ban Judah. I've learned from Kawakab Amath. I've learned from Brother Rakar from GOCC. I've learned from Pastor Tony Smith, Pastor Dow. I've learned from Brother Malak out there in California. I've learned from Bishop Nathaniel in New York up with the IUIC. Um, I enjoy. I mean, I got love for, I got love for Tahar from GMS. I got love from General General Yohana up with the ISUPK. Um, I know it sounds like I'm just throwing out names, but I really seriously enjoy the Israelite community and the basic teachings that everyone really sticks to. Now, one thing that Israel does is we like to find a point where we disagree and kind of attack that point. Um, that's one thing. I know we always discuss the scripture where it says, "I know in part, therefore I prophesy in part." And that scripture right there helps me to really be able to have mercy. You got to have mercy in this truth, because if you don't got no mercy, it tell you in Matthew 5, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. You understand? So if you don't have no mercy, Christ even told the Pharisees, he said, look, he said, you guys talk about tithe and this and that, paraphrasing, but he said y'all don't even worry about the more weightier parts of the law, which is mercy, judgment. So you got to have mercy in this truth, among other things. And what mercy does is it helps you embrace and find common ground with your brothers. I'm not talking about uh, bending on your values, but there's a certain amount of respect that you must show a person if you're going around saying that we are the children of the Most High, or we're the Most High's, we're the apple of His eye. If you're saying those type of things, but then you turn around and hate your brother because he doesn't agree on half of scripture the way you agree on, then where's the mercy?
Yeah, and I think one thing that's like we spoke about, that common denominator. You know, forsake ye not my law. The law being a fundamental aspect of every Israelite camp, and just to focus on the things that we do have in common, I think is very important, as opposed to focusing on the things that we don't have in common. Um, yeah, I just wanted to get this little quick run in just to see how the broadcast goes. It's our first live Google Hangout thing, so just kind of want to see how it goes and how it adds up. But for you, I think yeah, I think it'll be really resourceful, bro, if you brought some lessons and show people a few things, and we were able to, interact with other camps and kind of bring a channel that if someone's just getting fresh into this truth, they have a tour guide to get through and to not be confused, and to fall in line with some people that have actually been doing this for a while. So I know you've been practicing this walk for, upward northward of 5 years now. You know what I mean? So, you're not a baby in this thing. So, I mean, for somebody to listen to the direction that you point them in, I don't think you're gonna steer them wrong. You feel me? But yeah, hey, I definitely appreciate you, getting on the hangout with me real quick. I want to go ahead and see how this looks. See if
And
we want to
let
hold
me
on
share
to it.
one scripture before we end.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
do
to
that.
stick
Bring
on
it
the
out.
theme. Go to Revelation 2:24. This is one thing that a lot of brothers need to understand. Everybody who sees a scripture differently is not a CIA agent, it's not FBI and trying to lead you astray. Everybody's not. Maybe some are, but everybody's not. Some people fall up under this scripture right here. Also, Revelation 2:24.
All right, Revelation chapter 2, verse 24. But unto you I say, and unto the rest in Thyatira, as many as have not this doctrine, as many as have not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan, as they speak, I will put upon you none other burden.
Keep going.
Verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
Go ahead.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him I will give power over the nations.
Right. And let me read verse 23, the last half of 23. I hate the half of scripture, but this is a key point. I am he which searches the reins of the heart, and I will give unto everyone according to your works. So the Most High knows your capacity, what information you have been exposed to, what you have rejected, what you have accepted, what you have ignored, what you just haven't been exposed to. And you know what? If you really think about it, there's a lot of people out there who the Most High found a heart worthy to be in it. But just like Christ told the parable, some people gonna get in at the end of the workday.
Right,
They gonna get the same reward. It's just that it wasn't in their cards, so to speak, to be working early in the morning. Some people was in their cards to work early in the morning. You understand?
right,
So if you, as long as you hold fast to what you got, you know not to be commit adultery. You know not to serve other gods. You know not to steal. You understand?
right,
You stick to what you know, and then as you learn, you start applying those lessons also. So I mean, those are some key scriptures that just deal with mercy, and that's why I'm able to show love for everybody. And you feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm double minded or I'm doing what everybody do. I do what my understanding and my study lead me. But at the same time, I don't see nobody out there telling you to sleep with another man's wife. I
right.
don't see nobody out there telling you to lie every time you open your mouth. So you feel what I'm saying? I can roll with Israel. You feel what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah,
lot better than watching Jay Leno.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, brother, there's a lot out there that needs to be covered and discussed and brought to the forefront. Hopefully we can incorporate a lot of the brothers that you mentioned, if not some brothers that we haven't mentioned, and like I was saying earlier, kind of hold the hand of those that's new to this thing, and walk them through and be a tour guide, getting into these statutes, laws, and commandments. But yeah,
Uh,
I'm about to log this off so we can go ahead and make sure we're doing everything properly. But this is just a test run just to see how it goes. Appreciate your time. I'm gonna hit you in a minute.
Shalom.
Shalom.